it's a work I love doing. Yeah, there is music and there is a video clip. It's not my job. It's not my talent, but I love to do that because I think today playing music without video clip, without image, it's very difficult to propose it to be known.
Good morning, Kris. It's so lovely to meet you here on Zoom.
Good morning, Petra. Thank you very much to accept in your universe.
Oh, it's so lovely, and I've followed you on Instagram, and your music really touched me because it's so beautiful, and I would love to know, how did you start in music? What age did you start?
Okay. Before starting, I wanted to say to your listeners, sorry for my English and my accent because I don't practice so much, so I have to improve it. I started playing piano late. At 40, one day, as I was afraid of not having the chance to become a father, I made a promise that if I have a daughter, then I will give her a piano album. But at that time, I only have one song, and so I had to get to work.
Oh, okay.
It was the beginning of all that history.
But what a wonderful idea to do that.
Yes, but it's an idea. It's not. I think I am. I don't remember. Fou.
Fou.
Crazy.
Crazy. Join the club.
I was completely crazy to say that because, but after, well, yes, I have to work because I'm not at that moment. At that moment, I have a very bad level, So. Several years after, something it was better. It was better.
But now, what job did you do then before you played the piano?
I have several jobs. I teach in university.
Yeah.
I'm professor. I think.
Yeah.
Professor in university and consultant in enterprise. And I make several others activity, music festival, and I help people in their life, sometimes.
Wonderful.
And I play music.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But this now, and you're also composing. You're doing your own compositions. So what inspired you to compose?
Alors, my parents in my family they didn't play music. I have a lot of siblings who don't play at all. I'm feeling different, like on the artist of the family, and as I do everything differently, I think that. For them, I'm a bit of an alien, I suppose.
Oh, okay.
Because sometimes I think they don't understand what I want to say, I want to do. My inspiration are very eclectic. First, by French songwriters, all pianists, Michel Polnareff, Jacques Higelin, Charles Aznavour, Michel Legrand, music for film, and then artists with electroculture, like Philip Glass, Jan Tiersen, Woodkid, or Niels Fram. That's artists who inspired me.
because I hear your music, I listen to your music, and it's almost for me like a you're in a romantic film. It's or a story, you know. It's that feeling as if there's a story coming, and that's what I love so much about it, because it has this very romantic feel, so much love, that I think it's almost, you can picture a relationship, a story about a relationship.
It's very often somebody say that, so that I think you see it on Instagram. I put very often image pictures on music with very shortly video clip, so that when the people listen, imagination work and puts other pictures in the head. I remember the first time I play in public. The first time it was very at the beginning. It was a surprise because I see a piano in a museum. I started to play, and 5 minutes later, people come and I don't see them. And after when I finish, they applause me. And a little man, a very young man, come to and explain what he have in his head when I playing. And I was very surprised because it's not at all the history I want to explain.
Really?
And it was a surprise, and it was a lesson for me, because I understand that time that someone, everybody have his history when he listen. You understand? I want to give an history, but sometimes everybody take the music and make his own history.
I think you're right, because I'm in love with love, so maybe that's why I see it that way. That immediately it tells. It's like a film. I see a film in front of me, and this romantic film. But I love how you do on Instagram, where you put it, you make it very visual, and your videos are very visual, and you use also dance and things like that. And I find it very creative and a very wonderful way of putting your music out there.
Thank you. It's a work I love doing. There is music and there is a video clip. It's not my job. It's not my talent, but I love to do that, because I think today playing music without video clip, without image, it's very difficult to propose it to be known. So it's necessary, but for me it's a pleasure to do it. So I play. I passed a lot of time to make that, but I think it's necessary, and often I received comments,
feedback,
like feedback like you said today. So it's a pleasure for me.
I think it's beautiful, and it's not just you can see it's really artistically done, and I think it complements your music very well. It's really beautiful. But now I want to ask you, during the pandemic 2020, we all went through times and change and reflected a lot. But what was the change for you in your music after 2020?
Definitely doing concerts, doing live, because it was not planned at all. I received at that time an offer that I couldn't refuse, and I was afraid, but I had to work a lot on the grand piano, and suddenly new melodies came naturally. We finally had 15 melodies when we begin the second album, and so we could work on it.
So, and you're doing more orchestra, you're putting a more orchestra sound to your music now.
What you have to understand is that when I started playing piano, I was standing alone,
Yeah.
And very quickly I wanted to create my own tracks. At the beginning it wasn't good. Then I composed my first real melody, Malou, which is my daughter's name, and it was my first song, and I really like it, so I continued. But it was only 4 years ago that I accept the idea to be a composer, because at that time I presented my songs to Will Zegal, who is a French electro producer. And he told me that he liked it, and that there was material to work together. So we start working together, and we make the first album 3 years ago, called La Promesse, the Promise, and then last year the second one called Une Vie, One Life. So for the arrangement and instrumentation of the album, all around the piano, I work with every time with Will Zegal, who is my friend and producer.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. And now these albums, they are, or it's the two albums that you have. Are they on Spotify? Where can we listen to them?
Where? Well, on YouTube,
Yeah.
My name artist is KristO Piano, KristO with a K, and Spotify, Apple Music, and everywhere.
It's everywhere. Okay. But Kris, now tell me, what is your wish for the future?
You can wish for me a lot of things, if you want. The first, being present for my daughter's important life moments, because it's something very, very important for me. As long as I can. The second is still living between France and Spain, because I love these two very different countries. My wife is Spanish. And produce new song. I already have 5, and a new one is coming in June. A project that we are going to carry out with 100 students. A project of which we have been rewarded. So it's
amazing.
A good information this week, and above all, doing concert, doing live, because in France or everywhere in the world, because I think the language of music being universal, and because my last concert that I did was in Spain, in Malaga, last December, and it was a very, very strong moment. So I love to have another moment like that in life.
Well, you have to come to Vienna and do a concert.
I would like. I'm open.
That would be amazing. I would so love to hear that. That would be wonderful. And at your concerts, do you also do you have dancers, or is it also so visual at your concerts?
Not for the moment. For the moment, concert is piano only,
Okay.
not arrangement, and not. But it's a project with Will. First, doing piano and instrumentation, instrumentation, electro arrangement. It's a project we haven't time to work it now, but we are plan it. And the second one is and it's curious because you asked me that because it was my first idea of concept to make music and video. I have some idea for it, but I don't have the proposition for the moment. Though, so I wait, but I think in the future it's something I develop.
Yeah, because it's I mean, you do it so well, so you have to do it. That's wonderful. Yeah.
I think my music is very adapted for something like that. So I think one day I do that.
Yeah, that is so great. But where in France are you based?
In the west of France, Brittany, in west.
I see. Okay.
Lorient.
Okay. Yeah. But Kris, tell me now. I do let people do a shout out for their favorite restaurant or their favorite coffee shop. So, what do you have a place in your area that you like?
As I live between France and Spain, I give you two if it's possible.
Yes.
I begin with Spain, a bar, El Colon in Fuengirola, near Marbella, in south of Spain. Very, I love it because it's a very lounge atmosphere, you know.
Yeah.
And the second is in west of France, named La Taverne à Roux-Morvan, a very festive and Celtic atmosphere. So I love the boss.
And the food there, is it a good?
Food, it's more difficult. It's more difficult because I love all restaurants, you know. So I give you in Rennes, west in France. It's a restaurant named Piccadilly. Piccadilly, in the center of the town, and I have a special history with that restaurant because when I have my enterprise. Yes, in Rennes, every time I have an important meeting with a collaborator or a client, or I do something there. You know, I'm meeting them there. So in that restaurant, I love it because there is an atmosphere very special, and there is an important moment.
And you have good memories of the place. Yeah. Do you cook yourself? Do you like cooking?
No. Okay. I'm very bad in cooking. Very bad.
Why do we always think French people have to be good cooks? I
think I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm French. You know, I make several 2 months ago. I make genetic test.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah.
Oh yeah, yes. Yeah.
Genetic test. and the result is very surprising because it said that I have 70% of the Celtic, English, Scottish, Ireland, 70%, and 30%. Spanish and Oriental.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, very north of Europe and very south of Europe. And I'm looking for France, and 0% France. So I think it's explained like cooking for me is not the good thing.
That's the explanation now.
I think.
Oh, this is lovely. Oh, but Kris, this was so lovely to talk to you. And I please let me know when you come to Vienna.
I want before playing a few piano notes, if you want.
Yes, I would love that. Yeah.
I want to thank you very sincerely, Petra, for your kindness and for your quality of listening. It was a pleasure for me, a good moment, a great time for me. And I so want to thank Geoffrey, my nephew, who helped me preparing this interview because my level in English is not very good. So if he don't help me, it was.
No, I think your English is very good, and I think we can understand everything that you're saying. It's wonderful.
I do that as I can.
No, definitely. But
so,
yeah, because
thank you, Pepe, for the woman you are. It's I listen to your interview and it's every time very kindness and I love that quality.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, and thank you for speaking English, because I know if it's not your own language, it's sometimes difficult to express yourself. But I think it's always brave if somebody does that, and I think it's also makes it just wonderful that everybody now can understand why you are doing what you're doing and just have an idea of what you're doing. And I think this is great that it's that you are willing to do that. But I wanted to ask if you wanted to play something, because I would so love to have this on the video.
Okay, so I'm going in my piano room.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to play piano now, a track whose name Mamidou, the name of an important woman in my life, who is dead now.